DXB today. Big focus for us today is, of course, all things sustainability, from startup scaling all the way through to major corporations and, of course, institutions, much like our next guest, because Expo City is definitely leading the way when it comes to, well, setting green goals. And with us now is Sheena Khan, the head of Environment and Culture Programs at Expo City. Sheena Expo. Great to see you. Thanks
Synonymous.
Synonymous with the 1 and 2. It's wonderful, so kind of you to be with us here. And I think that's the point we'd like to make here. People say Expo and people think the space straight away. They think about the extraordinary event a couple of years ago. They think about the space. They think about the city that was created for Expo back in the day. But now, of course, the fact that it is this living, breathing example of sustainability. I mean, was that something that was intended from the off?
Absolutely. So the vision from back in 2013, when Dubai first won the bid to host the world's first Expo in the Minasa region, was one of sustainability, mobility, and opportunity. As of course many of us remember those three themes. However, Expo City Dubai, as it is today, was always one of Dubai South's 4 major new urban centers. So it was part of the city's master plan to expand. So we like to think of ourselves as a city that is a green print for a sustainable urban future that happened to have hosted 2 mega events, of course Expo 2020 as well as COP28.
Yeah.
Now, to talk a little bit more about our vision or our approach to innovation, well, focusing on sustainability from day one at Terra, which is the organization that I work with within Expo City Dubai. So we were fortunate enough, of course, to have been the Expo 2020 Sustainability Pavilion. So from day one, our architecture, our engineering, our approach to how we plant our plants, how we operate our building has always been one of net zero energy, water, and waste in terms of vision, in terms of build, in terms of design, but in terms of operation, which is now exactly what we trial on a day-to-day basis. And it's not just about what was designed and built back then, it's about our learnings and how we can constantly improve, of course, given that we are in an arid urban environment, a super arid, as I like to say, given the prevailing heat, humidity, and water conditions. Now, of course, we go one step further. So Terra is the world's living wonder, and so we really put nature at the heart of our approach to innovation. So throughout Terra's landscape, we've used nature-based solutions to help achieve our energy, water, and waste goals. Now, I think when we look at ecosystem services, or the value, the monetary value behind nature, it's estimated at 1.5 times global GDP. So if we think about the way that we can truly harness and work with nature in our built environment, we can have some incredibly resilient cities that help us meet our light footprint goals. And some of the ways we do that at Terra, of course, is we run our water through our reed beds that are very naturally occurring here in the UAE, and that gives us very clean water that we can just water our plants with. We have green roofs that help keep the temperature of our building much cooler. So those are just a few examples of.
Well, you've won phrase of the day already. Green print over blueprint. I love that. Love that.
Well, I've met Sheena many years ago. I think we go back 15 years, and
yes,
she's definitely a pioneer. And I know that Terra focuses a lot on education, and I would love to hear from you how you channel education to policy. What is the role that Terra plays?
Sure, absolutely. Well, I think the end goal of policy is changing behaviors so that we can have different environmental outputs to help solve, of course, the poly crisis that we're currently in our environment. And of course, Tatiana, I should also say, absolute pleasure to have seen your work and worked alongside of you all these years. Such a huge fan. In terms of education, more information doesn't always mean more action, right? So what we try to do is touch hearts and minds so that we do see the action, the behavioral change that we want to see on a daily basis. And the way we do that is we invite people to connect to nature, to give them a reason to care and a reason to want to change. You know, the old adage, if you see 2 people drowning in a river, are you going to save, and you can only save one, are you going to save the person you love and you know, or the complete stranger? What you know and what you love and what you care for. So at Terra, our programs center around this care and this connection to nature, and that's how we create, I guess, the change that we're looking for. So one example is earlier this year we inaugurated the Dr. Jane Goodall Pollinator Garden at Terra. So we have our native honeybees that live at Terra, and so we're launching a program just next week actually called 100 Hives. So we're bringing sustainable beekeeping practices into schools all across the UAE so that people like my 5-year-old daughter can suit up in a beekeeping suit and learn how to take care of our native bees in the way that they need just for this environment, not based on global best practices, but based on Emirati best practices and what we know works here.
We love hearing everything that Terra's doing. I'm actually interested in Expo City because all three of us worked there and I can't let go. I keep going back there, I ride the bikes around. Stuff is getting torn down, stuff is getting built up. What exciting new things are happening over at Expo?
I mean, great question. Well, I think in relation to Dubai's approach to tourism, where we are really welcoming in the world, at Expo City Dubai we are doing the same, and in particular at Terra. So we look at regenerative tourism as sort of one of the new ways forward. Again, we talked about policy and the change that's required. So when we have the millions of visitors coming through Dubai on an annual basis, and when they come through Expo City, what we want is for them to leave a positive impact. So they have a chance to engage with culture, and they have a chance to engage with nature in such a way that we leave a net positive experience for both the place that's visited as their experience as well. So at an organization like Terra, when you go through the exhibits, again, you have that chance to connect with nature. But also on an emotional level, we play with awe and wonder. So awe leaves you wanting to know, feeling more connected to something larger, and wonder makes you want to learn more. So I'd say that all of the experiences, not just at Terra, but also at Expo City Dubai, really inculcate those emotions so that our visitors both have an absolutely amazing time, but are also wanting to be part of the change.
It's interesting because you say about awe and wonder, and that was literally how I felt the first day I went in and saw the, there's an official name for the trees, isn't there?
The energy trees.
The energy trees, thank you. I should have known that. I was there for 7 months of my life, but you've been there 7 years. But you're talking about tourism, but I know you have a lot of events coming up as well, and you mentioned the bees earlier. I know you've got a big bee event coming up as well. Save the bees, it's all important. And tell us what else we've got coming up at Expo City.
Sure, so just this coming weekend actually is International Museum Day.
Okay.
So visitors have a chance you can bring back your passports and get them stamped. All of the stamps are there, or you can buy new ones if you'd like. So for free you can visit the Expo 2020 Museum, take a ride in Garden in the Sky, Observation Tower, or we have our attraction passes available to visit Terra, Aleph, and Vision Pavilion for 25 dirhams across all. So you can make a full day out of it, relive the excitement. But maybe I shouldn't say relive. It's the way forward. It's the new expression of Expo 2020, which is now Expo City Dubai.
It's amazing. I mean, there's so much going on at Expo City, and exactly like Farah said, like, I can't let it go either. I'm there on a scooter.
I'll see you in Japan.
Yes, see you in Japan.